Hello and welcome to RaceMob on YouTube. In today's vlog, we discuss a Boston Marathon virtual race, the brand new community site we've launched on RaceMob, the upcoming podcast with Seth James DeMoor, and discussions on social issues with the RRCA and folks from the race. If you're looking for an inclusive community and interesting content, hit our subscribe button and the bell notifications so you'll get notified when new videos go live. Good morning, B. Welcome. Happy Monday. Happy Monday.
Motivational Monday?
Motivational Monday, yeah.
Mindset Monday.
Mindset Monday.
Yes. It's Monday. As most people don't look forward to this day, we do, because we get a chance to hang out and chat.
That's right. Not so happy Monday for the 49ers, unfortunately, if you're a Bay Area fan.
Yeah, we want all of the Bay Area teams to do well. And you're a season ticket holder. Granted, you're a Broncos fan, but you support the Niners.
Yeah, that's true. But I am a huge Broncos fan. They are playing later tonight. I know that you're a huge Steelers fan, so
yes, I am.
Good luck to them. Good luck. Yeah, should be entertaining. It's nice to have football back, first of all. And even though the weather out here has been kind of iffy and kind of crazy, seems like you and your team were able to at least get in some miles and whatnot yesterday. So tell us about the event. Tell us about what you guys were up to yesterday.
Yeah, the weather gods were looking over us, all things considered, and we didn't think for a long time that we would be able to pull off a marathon, a virtual marathon. We had several team members who had originally qualified for the 2020 Boston Marathon. That event was scheduled to happen in April of this year. Because of the pandemic, they pushed it to September, the live event. Then they elected to make it a virtual event that many runners across the United States and worldwide were doing in their own communities. And we were able to facilitate a marathon that was run by 5 of our team members. 4 of them did it yesterday. 1 of them did it on Saturday. And then we had several other team members participating in the Big Surreal Challenge and knocked out the marathon distance. We had 2 team members that completed their very first marathon.
Wow.
Talk about cool. We had, great support, 2 aid stations, cheer stations. And we were able to root the runners on from start to finish and had a blast doing so. And again, we're very fortunate that it wasn't super smoky out there. The runners took precautions as best as possible. And, for those people who, especially the first time Boston Marathon qualifiers, for them to get, for that Boston experience to kind of be taken away from them temporarily, they eventually will get to Boston. You are going to run the streets of Boston. But for them to have that experience locally, supported by friends and family, man, it was just super cool. And the abilities to get out there and support your fellow brother and sister. I just missed that energy. And so much fun. Lots of photos, posted on the Too Legit Instagram. I shared several this morning and more to come. So good stuff. Thank you for asking.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we'll include some photos here for sure for everybody to enjoy. And if you've got photos, send them on in. Send them over to our Instagram account. Tag us. We'd love to share your photos, your Boston experience. As you know, Boston was one of our top 10 virtual races for September, October of this year. And we've got a video that kind of details out why it didn't make it higher on the list. And it's because of the exclusivity and the prestige. Well, not because of the prestige, but because of the exclusivity and the fact that the rest of us are just jealous. And so that's why we put it a little bit lower on the list. But it's just because we're a bit jealous of all those folks.
Kev, I would like to, thanks for asking about the weekend and the team event. But I'd like to actually shout out some of those runners.
Yeah, please.
Who knocked out the Boston portion. So shout out to Nicole, Ben, Jackie. Let's see here. Jody and Nicole. Nicole ran on Saturday. Then she came out yesterday and paced 13.1 miles the second half for Jody. So yeah,
what?
Great job. We had some great pacers out there as well. Iraj, Nicole, who I just mentioned, Becky, Sylvia, John, and Maria Mendoza. So great job. Just again, the level of community and support coming together, great energy, and it was a good day overall. But congratulations to the runners. Also, people completing the Big Sur Surreal marathon distance. Malu and Patrick. Malu actually had just recently knocked out her 100th half marathon. She completed the entire 5-distance slate for the Big Surreal event within the first 13 days of September. So shout out to Malu. And Patrick, who just signed up for the Big Surreal in the last couple of days, jumped on the biggest distance, the marathon, and it was his very first thing. So his very first marathon. And this dude's getting married on Friday, so it was nice. He finished, and his fiance was there at the finish line. Just good energy, man. So yeah, I was. There we go. Congratulations.
That's right. That is fantastic. Oh my gosh. Signed up, getting married this Friday.
Yes.
Completing a marathon.
Right. Yes.
So how did those guys feel mile 20, 21, 22? And what was that like for those guys?
Yeah. Again, man, you've run marathons. I've run a couple. But at that distance, no matter how hard you have trained, how long you have trained, or how many marathons you have completed, ultimately there's always going to be a little bit of something that happens. And I think all of the runners out there dealt with I got to just keep moving. But to have the support, the aid station support, the cheer squad support, knowing that they were not out there alone, and that so many people aren't able to get out there and to run in virtual events like this with the support. Most of the people are doing it on their own or in smaller groups. So to mimic like a actual race, I think that was helpful for others as well. In Patrick's case, I was very fortunate to be able to run at his side for a couple of miles. And I think, on the second loop, so he's in the double-digit miles at that point, 15, 16, 17, he started experiencing some lower leg discomfort. And I think there was a part of him that was like, man, am I going to be able to do this? So I asked him to see if he can run through it, and that his body would ultimately give him the best answer. And he was able to get a second win and to make his way to the finish line. So, and I know I had a chance to run with Jackie Silva Torres for several miles yesterday, and she was strong. She ran around 4:11 overall, and she was injured earlier in the year where she couldn't run. So she, had to rebuild her cardio health and has really put in the work over the last couple of months. I think averaging nearly 300 miles a month. And it really showed yesterday. She ran strong from start to finish, and so many examples of that. Malu, who completed again the full slate of the Big Surreal challenge, running all those distances within the first 13 days of the month.
Wow.
Culminating with a marathon yesterday. And John, one of our teammates, paced her, I think, the last 8 or 9 miles, which she didn't expect. That was a complete surprise to her, but not to us. I mean, we don't leave anybody out there, and we always thrive in making sure everyone, as they close in on the finish line, that they feel that sense of family and support. So we're able to deliver that in droves yesterday. So just magic, man. I'm still on cloud 9, just thinking about it. And for those who still have races on the horizon, best of luck to you. Whatever Kevin and I can do to help support your race experience, support your journey, advice, tips, anything along those lines, reach out to us. Our community is growing. You're a part of the community, and we're here to share our knowledge and to learn from you in the process.
Yeah. And we're just launching today that community.racemob.com site. So it's a really easy way for you to jump on, to say hello. It's brand new, and it's a great way for you to directly message us. There's a button in the top right. You can reach out directly to me or Bertrand. And just chat with us, because we don't want this to be a one-way conversation. We want to be able to chat with you and see what you're all about, and to meet you. And We built this because we think, sometimes the Facebook group's a little bit intimidating. Maybe there's a lot of people that already have previous connections, and maybe you're a little bit shy, a little bit nervous about entering community. And we want RaceMob, this community.racemob.com site, to be that entry point that's easy for first timers, for anybody new. There's a say hello section where you can just introduce yourself, and it's a great way to just make connections and to meet new people. So come join us on there. That's kind of where I spent the weekend, was behind the scenes, creating videos, making sure things were set up. And I think the other thing that I'm really excited about us having this week is we had Seth James DeMoor on the podcast not too long ago, and I've been working the weekend on editing that podcast and making sure that it is ready to go live this Thursday. Man, okay, so I don't know how many of you out there know who Seth James DeMoor is. He owns one of the best YouTube channels for runners out there. Fantastic, dynamic personality, terrific runner, terrific athlete who ran 2:23 marathon in his first ever road marathon, and this was just last year. And he was fresh off the Pikes Peak Marathon winning the Pikes Peak Marathon, where there was 7,000 feet of ascent and descent. And man, this guy, he's super busy. He's a crazy busy guy, and yet he found some time to join us on the podcast. And I can't wait for you all to listen to his tips, his tricks, just the connection that he's able to make with us in just a short amount of time. That's going live this Thursday, and I can't wait for you guys to listen to it. I mean, it's
a great pod. Great, one of my faves. Right there in the top three.
Yeah,
great energy. That dude is he's just a ball of laughs, bundle of energy, and like you said, man, that dude is freaking busy.
Yeah,
family. I think four kids.
Three kids, three boys, yeah, out there in Denver. He went to my alma mater, University of Colorado, so there's that, which means that, I knew it was going to be a fantastic conversation right off the bat, and just so welcoming too. Like, I think that there could be a lot of elites out there that don't want to deal with other people, exactly.
Level, yeah.
And what he is all about, and his brand is all about, this DeMoor Global Running group and community is all about being welcoming. And so, I mean, it was just such a fun time for us to be able to sit down and relate on this global welcoming community and what it can mean to others. And we just geeked out too. We just geeked out because what
him to make the time for our audience, for us. Hats off. That would certainly, again, coming off the Pikes Peak Marathon win.
Yeah.
I'm sure he had lots of media requests. You could just sat back and chilled for a while, considering how hard this guy works. And he brought the A game. The energy was through the roof, and we just had a blast, man. We could have kept recording for another 2 hours,
Yeah. And what I love, and what people on the podcast aren't going to know or realize, Bertrand behind the scenes, visually, he had this floating shoe walking by. There's just this moment where we're just talking about the studio, and we all just start cracking up. You're going to hear it in the podcast, and you're going to realize it's this floating shoe walking by, or there's this Post-it note at one point in time, and we'll have some of those posts up here or later on. But fun. It's just a fun conversation. What else is happening this week? I know that you and Too Legit are doing team training this week for the Silicon Valley Half Marathon. That's Wednesday night. Is that right? 5:30?
Let's see. Next pod is on the 23rd. So not this coming Wednesday, but the following Wednesday. But this Wednesday, we do have a morning track workout, Hammer Time track workout, that will share the prescribed workout for the week. So stay tuned for that. Keep an eye on the RaceMob social media feeds, and we'll get that out to you. And then share your experiences. You got a chance to get out and work through the actual workout. So speed is important in your weekly workout routine. I wouldn't recommend doing it more than once a week, but there are other ways that you can incorporate speed into your workouts without having to go to the track. And we'll talk more about that in the coming days and weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm excited about us getting in and digging in a little bit more on training styles, training formats, all of that, which we'll dig into in the upcoming weeks. We will share, as will be the case for our Monday kind of conversation, we'll share that Wednesday track workout here. So if I haven't already put it on the screen when Bertrand was talking, it will be on the screen for you guys all to see, and it'll be in the comments down below if you want to copy it and have that for this week's track workout. Again, speed is great for any style of runner, and you can scale it for your own needs. So absolutely take that track workout and incorporate it into your runs. It also just injects a little bit of fun sometimes. Sometimes we all go out for our normal run, our normal distance, our normal loop, all of that. And sometimes it's nice to break it up a little bit, to try something new. So we'll have that.
And speed can be intimidating when you say, okay, especially in a group format. It can be intimidating, even for some experienced runners. They may be like, I don't know, because it's formal, it's structured, it's bumping up the intensity for sustained effort, and it's not about competition with anybody else. It's about pushing yourself within your own limits and bumping up your cardio threshold, and then reaping the benefits while allowing the body to reset and soak up those gains in preparation for race day, in pursuit of PRs or just overall cardio fitness. It's fun. The workouts are fun, challenging. Yes, but you will reap the benefits. And certainly, taking all the necessary precautions and doing proper dynamic stretching or exercises prior to, and then a nice cool down post workout to make sure that we're being mindful of the body's the give and take of the body. So,
absolutely. What else do we have going on this week? There are a couple of behind the scenes that our audience probably doesn't know that we're doing, but we are recording a new podcast, which will launch towards the end of October. And that's with the whole crew at RRCA, Executive Director Jean and George. I know we're both excited, thrilled to have those guys on the podcast.
Huge, man. I mean, wow. We talk about some influencers within the running industry in the United States of America. And in George's case, the president of RRCA, he's a West Coast native. He's from the Bay Area. He lives up in the San Francisco area. And an incredibly accomplished athlete, but just his profession in general. I mean, as an educator, working with special needs and youth that have been, have had some maybe brushes with the law, just fantastic work. And just to hear his passion for running and his refreshing voice within the running community, especially in his presidency under RRCA, focusing on social issues, increasing diversity within the running community. So really looking forward to hearing him and Jean, the executive director, who was voted by, was it Runner's World as one of the most influential people in the running industry.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And so to have them on the podcast, can't wait for that discussion. Can't wait to share that with our audience. And if you have any questions that you want us to ask, comment down below. We'd love to know what questions you've got for the RRCA. And, they have their hands in so many different clubs, races, events, everything. They kind of can see at a nationwide, if not worldwide, view and perspective on what's going on all throughout. So would love to get your questions and get them asked and answered when we're on that podcast. The other thing I think we're taking a part in this week is there's a panel discussion for the race, and that is happening on Saturday, which we've been invited to as a podcast with with a Black or minority presence. And so can't wait for that discussion. Obviously, Tess puts on a fantastic event over in Atlanta. That podcast will launch a week from Thursday, our discussion with that dynamic race director. And so, yeah, I know, right?
Yeah,
so many discussions. I can't wait for you guys to listen to,
ready.
hear.
Popcorn ready.
And so
this is killing.
Yeah. And so this weekend, we're going to have that panel discussion, and let us know again down below in the comments if you've got anything that you'd want for us to discuss.
It's ironic, and is the race and the physical race, and then we talk about race in general and inclusion and feeling accepted, and what's the point that access, the financial cost, and being able to looking at younger age demographics and exposing them to running. It may cost a little bit more money to play football or other team sports. Running, the barrier from a cost perspective is not as high, but how can we expose the wonderful health and a sense of community benefits to the youth, so it sticks with them in more diverse communities. And I look forward to being a part of that panel discussion with you. Grateful for the opportunity. Thank you, Tess and team, and doing our part to expand access and increase diversity. And our conversation again with George and Jean with RRCA tomorrow is going to speak to that as well. So good stuff. And share any questions you'd like us to ask on your behalf. We will do so. We will do so. So please give Kevin and I the opportunity to be your voice.
Absolutely. Awesome. So yeah, I think that's all that's happening behind the scenes over here at RaceMob. Can't wait for you to come join community.racemob.com. Can't wait to meet you. Come on over, sign up, say hello. There's a whole say hello tab. There's a whole guided tour in there. We'll show you how to get involved and just how to take that first step. So come on over, and can't wait to see you. And we'll see you again this week. See you guys.